Another response video, Professor Anton. I'll turn the volume up a little bit. He says it's his last forte on this subject, but come on. This is only the most important subject in the universe, is trying to figure out what we're a product of and whether or not we can make anything rational out of this slop.
Okay, I think this is going to be my last attempt at the antinatalist argument. I tried to engage. I don't find the engagements, from my perspective, to be that meaningful.
Yeah, well, you haven't dealt with any of the key points, all right? So until you explain how it's not imposing, all right, how it's not like gambling with somebody else's welfare, how there isn't an obligation to build the nest before you lay the eggs. Like we should demonstrate that we can do this society thing safely and fairly before we say, yes, continue the experiment. I mean, these are simple concepts. Make an argument validating that the human race has some hope of doing it right before you claim anybody saying it's wrong has no right to say it. Come on.
I guess this argument just goes nowhere. I think it really does come down to people's experience of life and what they think of it and whether they value it.
Well, again, you're going to sit there and discount the philosophical question and again turn it into some sort of, oh, it's up to everybody's subjective, however they're doing defines how life is. Okay, and so yeah, everybody can just make that argument. I'll eat meat because it's about me. It's not about what I'm eating. It's not about its welfare. I mean, that's just, yeah, okay, scapegoat, escape all responsibility. And yeah, everything's just fine as long as you're just fine. I mean, that's just such bullshit. That's not philosophy. That's bullshit.
People, they believe it would have been better to have not been. Other people, they just can't imagine that. Many people want to live forever. Many people...
Again, yeah, it doesn't really matter, right? That's not the subject. That's the conceded truth. Nobody's arguing that many people are deluded and many people are retarded and many people absolutely suck. We would all agree that there are people who absolutely suck on planet Earth. The point is what do we do about it? Yeah, that's the point.
Really value life, and it's not this that they don't respect and care for other people. See, it's weird how the antinatalist position, I've heard it now, it's just odd the way it's wanting it both ways. In some way...
Well, it's really odd to me that you can't address the fundamental issue, which is the person who is, for no necessary demonstrated reason, conducting biological experiments. They are basically playing God, okay, as they're going to do this Adam and Eve experiment. They are potentially going to create, you know, thousands, hundreds of thousands of descendants, and like a god, they will take no responsibility for the experiment. They have absolutely no clue what's going to happen to them, what their destiny is going to be. They've arranged nothing. They've set up nothing. They've, in fact, sold them into slavery. And yet you think it's just odd that somebody would scrutinize that behavior and say, what exactly qualifies you to play God? I mean, do you have some kind of credentials?
People are saying, well, there's too many people and that other people have rights, but then what they're really saying is, well, we don't want any people to have any of those rights anyway because...
Yeah, no, that is sort of what we're saying. What we're saying is, no one comes first, wrongs. That's where you people have gotten it all wrong, okay? You think about freedom first instead of responsibility first, and then you think about rights first instead of wrongs first. The first thing is, you don't do wrong. If it isn't wrong, then it's probably a right. Okay, so if it's not a wrong, it's a right. So deal with the wrongness issue. Deal with the right that you don't have a right to wrong somebody with your game playing. That you don't, in fact, have a right, okay, to gamble with somebody else's welfare. Unless you have some excuse, some necessary excuse, like I have to do it or I will die. I have to do it or I will suffer incredible suffering. I mean, you have to have some kind of cause to produce that effect.
There are going to be no people who would secure and enjoy the rights that we've saved for them. I mean,
again, avoid the word wrongs. The wrong of imposition, the wrong of unaccountability, the wrong of not buying insurance, the wrong of not building the 3-pig brick house.
It doesn't make sense to me. But and people now claiming that, and it's ridiculous. This is why I'm done arguing with it. But that life.
Yeah, right. And you're not going to prove any of this. You're just, again, making more of these bold claims. I'll just call you retarded. I'll call you silly. I'll call you stupid. I'll call you moronic. I'll call you smelly, stinky. Head up your assy. There, your head up. These head uppy assy people. Oh my God, they're just disgusting.
Is rape, that to be born is to have been raped, and that's the equivalent. I mean, if you can't.
Well, whatever. It's a taking for personal self-indulgence. Okay, it's a selfish act. All right, and until people can come up with that just a little statement explaining exactly why they need to do it, then it is bullshit.
See that as a kind of just false comparison, and an obviously molded one. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm going to try one last point here. And this would be, I think, one of the main...
Well, why don't you deal with the argument that's been presented you? I mean, that's the catch here, is that everybody just keeps talking past each other. I've attempted to address your issues in all your videos. You say, okay, we don't know how the universe became universing, and how this happened, and how that... And I've addressed your points. But you don't touch anybody else's questions. You're great at asking pointed questions, but you really suck at answering pointed questions.
Major issues that I think that I've seen little addressed to, and not really a lot of people talking about, which is, I think antinatalism is a very, very strange bedfellow.
Yeah, well, let him finish. Bedfellow to...
The individualist consumer capitalism.
See, it's just so bizarre. Now, if there's a Borg, okay, affecting us, a consumer capitalist type Borg mentality, a broken meme, it is this default presumption that because it's pretty colors, it's pretty, it's flowers, it's soft kitty, soft kitty, that it's some sort of benign rainbow mechanism. All right? That's the default. That's the Borg mentality. This pro-life mentality is the Borg mentality. You're the ones who haven't analyzed the circumstance, who ignore the statistical truth, who have now even put some sort of fancy dressings on the morbid demise of human beings. That takes, on average, at least a year for a human being to die in this horrible, slow decay, and you've all turned that into some sort of parade. I mean, it's some sort of Mardi Gras. Death is even Mardi Gras. And you're going to be talking to me about Borg psychology? No, you are the fucking Borg.
That's right.
That's right.
Individualist consumer capitalism and antinatalism are philosophies that grow from the same ground.
No, yeah, right. One is all about minding your own business, staying out of everybody else's business, exploiting no one, imposing on no one. And the other one is completely the opposite. Exploit everything and everyone. And somehow you're going to make that comparison. Obviously, you're not going to make that comparison. You're not going to make a rational argument defending that statement. You're just going to make the statement because it's easy to make. Again, so it's just more accusation backed up with nothing. Nothing. So I'll just accuse you of being a petty shoplifter. You go to the fucking dime store and you steal stuff. There. I've made an accusation.
That's right.
That's right.
That if you go to Aristotle in his definition of eudaimonia, right, of thriving, flourishing.
Right, so this is a guy who didn't know what a bacterium was. Didn't know what penicillin was. Didn't know what made the thunder. Didn't know what made lightning. Didn't know a motherfucking thing. And so I'm gonna take my understanding of life advice from a guy who didn't have even a third grade science education.
Machine, the ability, we would call it, happiness to the nth degree. That for him. And we don't have to agree with him, and we can disagree, but for him, it included having children, and it included having grandchildren and multi-generationality. That's part of what...
Yeah, right. People trapped in a circumstance, right? If all they know is the dungeon, they're going to put curtains in the dungeon, and they're going to try to put a sink in there and a toilet, and they're going to try to make it livable in the dungeon because they don't know any better. But guess what? We've broken through the roof. We've seen the sunlight of information and knowledge. We know what evolution is now. We know what we're part of. In his world, there was no way to know any of that. So, yeah, we know the truth of what's going on here, and we know that most of the truth is it's all a bunch of bullshit psychology and nothing else.
Made life rich. That, for many people, life's greatest riches are the struggle of being a great parent.
Yeah, well, if they're doing that struggle, if that's their greatest rich, and they're doing it on my fucking back, fuck them.
Of helping your children learn about the world, and of being...
Yeah, learn what? That you're all a bunch of selfish motherfucking assholes who don't give any consideration to even the most important decision in the fucking world, which is creating life. And you can't even take that seriously. And you come up with bullshit names like, you know, the potential future president of the United States who, you know, names her children after fucking Kraft Foods or something. I mean, get fucking real. Bunch of retards who can't control your selfish indulgences. And you exploit other people. You are consumer capitalism. You are the exploiter. You are the I come first.
A great parent. Yeah, not... I mean, this whole idea of... I mean, it's just ridiculous that
Oh, I can do that too. Man, you people are just... I can't even contemplate how fucking dumb you are. Coco the gorilla can get shit before you get shit. I mean, you really are stupid.
Life itself is nothing but, it's rape. Anyone who's born has been violated and has turned into a victim. No.
Many people are born into the pink balloon chase in psychology, and so they'll be okay because they're retarded enough to think they can win. Okay? Okay? No, they can't win. Alright? It's just dumb ego psychology, and it is a sense a rape if you're thrown into a world that's unnecessarily a pigsty, and that's what this world is. Alright, exploitation all over the place, insufficiency all over the place, lack of preparedness all over the fucking goddamn place, no rational systems, no fucking rational organization, just everything out of fucking control and chaos. Now how is that a demonstration of love or responsibility or gaining satisfaction from a job well done? Is there any job well done here, Professor? Is this society a job well done? Hundreds of years of slavery, hundreds of years of exploitation of minorities and immigrants. Where's the job well done, Professor?
Very, very happy to have been. And many
Because
people,
they're dumb.
they kind of live their whole life looking forward to good old-fashioned family values.
And whatever that means. What? So leave it to Beaver. We're all going to go take a trip to the hardware store and buy a packet of screws, you know, so we can put your mother's favorite picture of a Guggenberry on the wall. Is that just this wonderful family value we all get fucking gooey over? Shit. You know, shove that Rockwell crap up your ass.
For thousands of years, tens of thousands of years, the most significant part of people's lives
was watching their children die, and then if you survived as a child, you got to watch your parents die, and everybody else die of stupid things like childbirth or influenza, or they went to work and never came home again. Oh, come on, butthead.
was caring for each other.
While you eat your gruel in the dark, your cold potato and cup of gunk. I mean, God, jeez, this is just such a... Why not? Tell us another fairy tale, Professor. Could you tell us the one about that Sleeping Beauty, where she's in the cutoffs and the halter? I really like that one.
There's a whole aesthetic to it as well. It's kind of like, you go to the zoo, and because you've been bored with the zoo and you're sick of the zoo is no longer interesting to you. But with children, suddenly you see the world anew. You see it through their eyes.
Yeah, right, as they start to realize, what the fuck are those two animals doing? You mean I'm supposed to put my weenie in a fucking vagina? Oh, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, zoos are fun, whatever. I mean, but come on. This is life. I'm here to go to the fucking zoo, and then what do I do, right? Yeah, oh yeah, then you go to Disneyland, and you say, oh yeah, well this is great for 3 hours, but there's no pinball machines. Fuck it.
And that's not the reason why you have children, so that you can kind of poach upon their experience. I can just already see people who, they don't know how to listen to the argument.
Well, you just brought it up, butthead. I mean, you basically just said that. Isn't that the charm of our lives? Poaching off our children and realizing that, okay, well, I'm going to try to be like a virgin again. Or some kind of bullshit like that.
To defend their argument rather than actually listen to the fact. The fact is, not everyone sees life as unrelented suffering and victimage and
yeah, and then not everyone is arguing that position. It's not like people are saying every bit of life. No, they're just recognizing, like anybody else who's rational. Okay, they say, what is drunk driving? Well, most of the times it's a successful way to get home. Okay, that's the truth. Most of the time it's a successful way to get home. But in some of the time, it's a very unsuccessful way to get home, and it fucking kills people and horrifies and just imposes suffering on people for no reason. They didn't earn, okay, the intrusion. It's an imposition, Professor. That's the argument. The argument isn't that all you fucktards are miserable putzes. The argument is that you're deluded putzes, and you think you have a right to trespass on other people. And that's the bullshit of this argument, is the goddamn imposition. Until you can demonstrate that you got a pretty damn good chance of getting home without taking someone out, you got no business doing it.
Position. Some people, they really do. They see it as a gift. And they're very, very thankful.
Yeah, I wish you got the gift of being born in Nairobi. I really wish you got that fucking gift. Because man, you've fucking earned it. And you've earned every parasite that would live in your fucking goddamn intestines. And you've earned you'd probably be already dead. Okay? You'd be an old man by that standard now. So fuck you and this fucking goddamn gift crap. Shove that up your ass also. With your fucking head. There's probably no room in your ass, but your head is already in your fucking ass.
They have been, and the thing that they want more than anything is to feel the depth of love that they have experienced and to share that with another person.
Oh, what does that have to do with the philosophical argument? Oh, that's right, not a goddamn thing. It doesn't have anything to do with consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, and addiction. It has nothing to do with the argument that it's all psychology, and if you have to chase a cheese doodle, make them cheese doodles that have to do with your own goddamn business, not somebody else's business. Okay, mind your own fucking business. Don't be doing biological experiments, all right, without some sort of license, some sort of mandate, some sort of authority. Yeah, no, just evade the fucking subject, which is life is really, really fucking stupid and only really made for fucking retards who think they're actually going to accomplish something climbing Mount I'm better than you. Oh yes, I must climb Mount I'm better than you because something's at the top of Mount I'm better than you. Absolutely nothing is at the top of Mount I'm better than you. It's a fucking ugly, stupid, disgusting mountain. And you assholes just keep climbing and climbing and climbing like you're accomplishing something. You're accomplishing nothing. You're stepping in your neighbor's face, you idiot.
Any person who really, genuinely loves their parents, and they know that their parents did a good job, and they can forgive their parents for their shortcomings because their parents really were concerned with their best interest.
Oh, blah, 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 blah. This has nothing to do with the average parent on planet Earth, I would wager. And even if somebody has all the good intentions in the world, right, the road to hell is paved in good intentions. I mean, it's just a pile of shit. Sorry, pile of shit. It has nothing to do with philosophy, this emotionism. Oh, we can't dislike our parents. We can't judge our parents, just like we can't judge Gaia, Mother Nature, because she's a mother. You can't judge a mother. Mothers are always givers. Yeah, tell us another story, Professor. What about the one with the little piglets in it? Can they wear cutoffs too?
I think those people, they have a kind of love and an appreciation for life, and they want to share it.
La-di-da-di-da-di-da. Oh, they want to share it like, what's that disease you get from kissing? Yeah. Like a venereal disease. They want to share it. Oh, isn't that nice of them? A silly addiction, their deprivation, their need. They want to satisfy it through you, and they want to call that sharing. Right. Thank you very much. No, thank you. Sharing, you know what I mean? You really shouldn't share until somebody said, please, can I have some more?
And it's not selfish. No, it is their prerogative.
It is selfish, and if you're going to say it's their prerogative, like I said, and you're going to use nature, if you're going to resort to nature, then the counter argument can be stated that it's my prerogative to hate your fucking guts and to, if I'm bigger than you, to smite you then. So yeah, might makes right. It's might's prerogative to be right. It's just a pile of shit. It has nothing to do with philosophy, logic, intelligence. It just has to do with validating human behavior merely out of tradition, and that's just bullshit.
If they can procreate, it's in their biological capacity, and it may...
Yeah, well, humans can start fires, and it's within their biological capacity to throw witches on them. I mean, this is just such bullshit.
Well be one of life's true riches, and to say no, well, there's really no game in town. What is the game of life? Is it to have the most things?
The antinatalist certainly isn't arguing that. No, the game of life is to realize there is no game to be played. It is just merely a game of perception, addiction, need, created by assholes who won't let it go. Alright, who just keep saying, I'm going to keep making Frankenstein so he can go out and do Frankenstein in the world. Like he's accomplishing something. He's accomplishing nothing.
Accumulate a bunch of crap. I think the more that you start to look at your life like you're an individual, and it's all an individual success story, and the only thing in life...
Well, that's what parents are doing all the fucking time, asshole. And if you don't see that, their kids are like a Gucci label. I mean, they walk around with a wallet full of their little pictures and full of all this other bullshit. So don't play the game that these life givers are something other than caught up in some sort of ego bullshit game. Is my kid's better looking than his kid? My kids are smarter than his kids. I mean, fuck you.
Is to have accumulated a bunch of crap. Well, of course life is going to seem pretty meaningless at that.
Yeah, again, this has nothing to do with anything. So now you're saying antinatalists are consumers of a bunch of crap. Well, guess what? You should have to prove that, asshole. I bet on whole they're, 100% greener than you are? Butt shit.
Point. Consumer capitalism probably likes it that people are so estranged from family relations that they now think...
Oh, please, they're selling it on the damn TV. What the fuck are you talking about, though? They make whole TV shows about being pregnant. This is just such a pile of shit so they can sell them more soap and more diapers and more bullshit. Consumer capitalism loves you fucking life morons. It can sell you more... naturally grown, beef burgers.
Natalism is a solution to their misery. I can't believe that people cannot see the unlikely and yet very odd bedfellows that individualist consumer capitalism is with...
Again, it's just such a pile of shit. The heathens, the wanters, the takers are the fucking natalists who think they're entitled. They're entitled to their 3.5 kids and their picket fence and their leave it to beaver life and all of that bullshit that's got us into this fucking mess, you asshole. They're entitled to 12 years of publicly financed education, and they're entitled to fucking health care. They're entitled to all this shit, and they don't want to even pay for it. So what the fuck are you talking about? The people who've sold out to their desire are the goddamn natalists.
the antinatalist position. And again, this probably is my last video. Don't be surprised if I take down all my earlier antinatalism videos.
Yeah, because they were all pretty fucking as lame as this one and made you look like a fucking goddamn idiot. I gave you an F on every fucking one of them. Not a D, not a D minus, a fucking F. Okay, because you might as well have not even given me a piece of paper. You know, you basically, you gave me a piece of paper and it had written on it, fluffy kitty, fluffy kitty, fluffy kitty. And I'm saying, what the fuck, Professor? You can't give me that as a treatise on a subject. You can't give me that as an essay, fluffy kitty. That's not a fucking argument. It's not a fucking essay. It's not an explanation. It's a pile of shit. A fucking 5-year-old could have done better than fluffy fucking kitty as an argument. So yeah, you failed the course, Professor. You failed it. You didn't get a D or a D minus. You fucking failed. You might as well not have even shown up to the argument because you made no fucking argument.
If you want to get them, you might want to get them now. I find this a useless argument. If people...
Yeah, you find it useless because you have no counter argument. You have absolutely nothing but arrogant, majoritarian Borg rhetoric. We've been doing this for millions of years. Why should you possibly ever fucking force us to explain why? Don't do that. Don't force us to explain why we're retarded. The pink balloon. Can't you see it? It's the pink balloon. I don't have to explain the value of the pink balloon. It's the pink balloon, you fucker. That's what we do. We chase fucking pink balloons. Yeah, that's all you're doing, idiot.
Want to have the argument? Go make the argument. Go advocate it. I'm not telling you not to advocate it. I'm telling you I don't find it persuasive at all. I find it
fine, wonderful, marvelous. You're not persuasive either. Obviously.
Reductive, and it's almost like ostrich head in the sand.
No, you're fucking human with ass. Head in ass. Okay, I'd rather be an ostrich with my head in the sand than a human with my head in my fucking ass. And you've got your fucking head in your fucking ass.
With regard to the number of people who love life. And
that proves everything. It's all about how many people believe in something. So as long as everybody believes in it, it's the truth. God damn it, you gotta know that. Oh yeah, it's a popularity contest. Whoever's the most popular is the best. That's what the corporations are telling us.
Share that. And I think that it's not turning people into a victim. In many respects, to fall into a loving family and to...
Oh, whatever. You fall into whatever you want to fall into. What I fell into was the realization that I've been sold a lemon. It's a cardboard car. It's all fake. It's made out of absolutely nothing but a bunch of traditional jargon. It's made out of fairy tales. Happily ever after. There's no fucking such thing, okay? Snow White did not live happily ever after. Alright, Prince Charming cheated on her. She got fucking ovarian cancer. She died over a 5-year period. Her first child killed his ex-wife over $50 that she took when he left. I think that was the snow. That one might have been Sleeping Beauty. But anyway, I don't remember all the details. But none of them lived happily ever after. They're fucking fairy tales. And all you're doing is embracing the fairy tale.
Have somewhat of an idyllic childhood is the greatest gift another person can give a person.
Oh, please. A gift can't come with a liability, okay? So if they're taking a risk, if the gift is the diving board or the plank, and the end result can be an idyllic childhood or ALS, cancer, muscular dystrophy, a list of all these other encumbrances, poverty, disgusting poverty, cardboard box house that you're born into. All right, that's the reality, Professor. All right, so don't talk to me about oh, the success stories, and just ignore that this is like, you might as well just sit there and go into the richest man in the world's house and do a little life of the rich and famous and completely forget about all the exploited workers. Completely ignore all the people who got their arm cut off to make his stupid widget for him so he could sell it to you at some inflated price to make a huge profit. Yeah, ignore the context and just sit there and focus your little camera on the pretty flower. Fuck you.
It's not to victimize a human being. It's how you do it. There isn't just some fact of
Yeah, exactly. How you do it. And how have people done this life game world thing? Have they done it responsibly? Have they built a qualified, a capable, a secure, a well-constructed, a meticulously constructed nuclear power plant? Or have they just thrown a bunch of shit together and said, I want my free energy. I don't give a fuck if it irradiates that guy. What game have they played?
There's not. There is the whole range of how people are brought in the world and how they're cared for or not.
Yeah, exactly. Or not. There's a big fat fucking or not. Okay? Until you get rid of the or not, you got no business playing the game. Until you make it close, at least closer, a lot closer, to fail safe, where you have some control of the experiment, you have no right to conduct an experiment that jeopardizes somebody fucking else. I mean, if it's only going to irradiate you, if it's only going to fucking turn your testicles green, then fucking fine. But that's not the game you're playing, asshole.
It's where you introduce the qualitative issue of victimhood or not. There isn't just some fact of the matter. Again, we can...
Well, there is a fact of the matter. There is a fact that the experiment doesn't exist unless somebody conducts it. And that's a fact of the matter. You don't have the kid. There's no experiment. There's no risk. You've successfully accomplished the fail-safe task. All right? So let's not pretend that having children doesn't have something to do with the fact that there's children in the world.
Poetically say there's a fact of the matter, and that's fun, yes. Is life a bitch? Yes. Are we...
Oh, should everybody have my same willingness to pay the bitch price? Yes. Why should they? Now, that's the key. Give us the logical argument why everybody else should have your I'm willing to pay the bitch price. Right? That's the argument here. You're saying it's worth the $10. I'm saying it's an absolute pile of shit. All right? I wouldn't, you'd have to pay me to let it in my house. It's such a piece of shit. It's such a stinky, smelly, rancid piece of shit. You'd have to pay me to take it in my house.
No victims, sure, if you want to say that, but don't be throwing...
Sure, if you want to say that. So again, just discount them, just throw them in the garbage. They've already had the indignity of the suffering and the misery and the torment and the anguish, and on top of that, we'll throw you in the dumpster, philosophically. You now mean nothing. Okay, because we can discount you because we're too busy chasing the pink balloon.
Throwing the baby up with the bathwater.
Oh, whatever. So the baby is the baby after all? No. The baby is the bathwater. The bathwater, it turns out, is the thing that actually has value. Okay, it's the diamonds. The baby is the rubbish.
Good grief.
Good grief. That's right. Tradition and your nonsense and your dogma and your presumptions of meaning, all of that crap is bathwater, Professor. The baby is the truth of evolution, the recognition that it's a failure, the recognition that it's all psychology, that it doesn't matter what we put in front of you, you will chase it. Okay, like a dumb animal with a fucking stick and a little carrot dangling on it. You're just gonna fucking chase because you don't know how to do anything else just because you're too stupid to figure out you're being gamed. And it's a fucking goddamn game, Professor. A dumb, stupid, idiotic climb up a dumb, stupid mountain of nothing. For no purpose. It's just a waste of star energy. Yeah. However you want to metaphor it. So anyway. The end, I believe. Till the next time. Yes, take down your videos, though. Wise Monkey does that, too. Yeah, take down your videos.